Hey, what's going on, guys? So today we're going to be discussing working line dogs and what is the clear definition of a working line dog. This is extremely important. So you are going to stay tuned to find out if you have a working line dog. Guys, want to see more videos from us, like, subscribe, and comment. We would like to continue making more videos to help you out with what you're doing with your dog. So support us by subscribing to our channel so that we can continue to make more great videos with dog training and to get you on your way to where you're trying to be. Thanks again. All right, so here we go. Let's talk about working line dogs. So there's a big buzz going around on the internet about working line dogs, and people are saying they have working line dogs when in actuality they don't. So let's go over the definition of a working line dog, and then we can fall out and let's talk about it. So what are working line dogs? Working line dogs continue to be selectively bred for the traits that allow them to be very good at working in their specific field. The original traits that were bred are for strong, have been nurtured to ensure that they have great work ethics. So much what that means is that two dogs are bred that have really extreme exaggerated traits in their field. And they are rebred together so that their puppies have the same trait. Their puppies have the same demeanor. They have the same work ethics. So if I have two police dogs and both of them are great at detecting drugs, I will breed those two dogs so that their puppies also will be great at detecting drugs. So a lot of times a breeder see this as a opportunity to increase their price by saying they have working line puppies, and they figure by saying this they can increase their price by half, which is not good, because if you don't know what a working line dog is, you will assume that the breeder is not lying to you. So for example, I have 12 working line dogs, 12 working line German Shepherds, and all of them do something different. Not that they all do the same thing. Some track, some detect certain things, some bite, and some are service dogs. So it all depends on what you're talking about as far as trait that makes them consider them to be a working line dog. Now, those traits don't always trickle down to every puppy. So if you have a litter of, let's say, 6 puppies, you may have 2 that are really outstanding and really great at biting and doing protection work. You may have 2 that are really great at tracking and things like that. You may have 1 that's really good at indicating and sniffing out things. And then you may have 1 that's not good at anything, just being a pet, a family pet. So, and then it could be the flip. You may only have 1 working line and the other 5 are pets. So it all depends on who the dogs are bred with and if both of the parents actually do work. Because some people think that just because one of the parents do work and the other parent does absolutely nothing, that considers them to be working line dogs. And 90% of the time, that's not true. You breed 2 working line dogs to get working line puppies. So that's the fundamental foundation of working line dogs into working line puppies. But again, like I said, some dogs inherit these traits. You can see it, especially with German Shepherds, when they get about, I'm going to say, a year old, they start to have adolescent phase where they become extremely protective over property, places, and things in the house. So, and then some are not. Where do you find these working line dogs? Well, so almost 70 to 80% of your working line, true working line dogs like German Shepherds come from Europe. So all of your police dogs are actually bought in Europe by a vendor, and they're shipped to the United States when they're about a year old, and then they're sold to other trainers who train them and sell them to law enforcement. It's kind of how it works. So police apartments don't buy German Shepherds out of random people's backyards. That is a myth. They do not do that because American German Shepherds have been overbred so much with American line, and when they say American line, these are traits. Again, we're talking about. We're not going to get into physical characteristics right now. We're just going to stick on traits that they don't sustain the traits to do the work. Okay, so if I were to send an American German Shepherd to do bite work, they may get tired in 5 minutes, and they may stop working. Where if I was to send a European German Shepherd like a Czech or DDR line in to do bite work, they may do bite work for 45 minutes. And you kind of need that stabilization when they're apprehending somebody, that they won't stop fighting in 5 minutes, but they will continue to fight as long as the handler needs them to. So that is your true definition of working line, and you can see that if you look on their paperwork, like AKC or CKC, whatever paper you got in front of you, that it'll show they got IPO, they got KVP, and these are working rings like Shush and Hound, where their predecessors, like their great grandfathers and so on, were competing in these competitions, and they were doing working line things. So if you got paperwork in front of you and you don't see any of that listed on there, then your dog is probably not a working line dog, and you were just told that thing right. So that is pretty much how that works. So if you guys got questions, you are welcome to reach out to me. I thank you guys for taking the time out to look at this video and get some more insight on what a working line is. Working line dogs are bred. They typically start between $1,200 and $1,500 because they're selectively bred to do these traits. And some breeders that are really good at it in the United States are able to sell their dogs to law enforcement and other agencies and trainers and things like that, security companies. So that's typically what the price range you're going to see if you're truly looking at one. If someone's trying to sell you one for $500 or $200, it's probably not a working line, and it's a scam, and they're throwing it on there just to get rid of the dog. So this is important that you know that. Again, like I said, you guys are welcome to reach out to me at any time. We put out a lot of training videos. They're free. They're not hacks. There are actual things that we do with our dogs. We do protection. We do search. We do detection. I'm a hobby breeder, so I'll breed 1 or 2 litters a year. I don't do deposits and all those things like that, because as soon as I put out a litter, there's like 30 people for 6 puppies. So that's kind of how that works in that field. But again, you shouldn't have to argue with somebody what a true working line dog is, because if someone actually owns a working line dog, they've got tons of videos to show you, and they can't wait to show you the videos. And people who actually don't, they just got still pictures of the dog doing absolutely nothing, because you can't really prove things through pictures. So I promise you, if you run across someone breeding working line dogs, they're going to have a million videos. They're going to try to show you if their dog biting someone, running up a thing, or tracking someone or something. They're going to have all these pictures and videos to prove to you they actually have a working line dog. So again, like I said, you guys reach out to me. I breed Shepherds. I work with Shepherds. I own 12 Shepherds. And I own Czechs. I own East German. I own Czech DDR. I own all different bunch of branches of them. I even have 1 or 2 American Shepherds. So I own the different kinds. They do different temperaments. They have different attitudes. They have different drives. They all are different. No German Shepherd is the same. And if you guys have any questions about the breed, you guys can hit me up. I'm Rodriguez, and you guys can get in contact with me. And thank you again for watching this video. Again, if you like seeing this content, you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make a comment, like or dislike, whatever it is, but keep us rolling. This is how we keep things, and we're able to put out more content for you guys. But again, you guys have a good one, and no arguing with a breeder. If he doesn't have working line, keep looking. You guys have a good one. Like my video, subscribe to my channel so that we can continue making great content for you and your dog.